Hey guys, it's Zach, and in this episode of Hope for Mass Ball, we will continue using our Virizion and Rain team. Last episode, we actually got ourselves into a weather war with a Torkoal and Venusaur, but we were able to control it and handle it pretty well. So today, I want to know, what is your favorite weather to use? At the beginning of this format, we saw a lot of sun and sand with Tyranitar, Torkoal, Venusaur, and Charizard, but now that Politoed's back, rain is a little more common, especially with the offensive power that you can see from Pokemon like Kingdra and Poliwrath with Swift Swim. So I want to know, what is your favorite weather? And we have our next opponent here. And we are actually going to see the weather with Politoed, Kingdra, Scizor, Whimsicott, Duraludon, and Chandelure. So we could actually probably do beat up here. We will have to worry about a max airstream from the Kingdra, but it's also threatened by Dragapult. So who do you target first? I think Togekiss is a good lead, and I think we bring our own Kingdra just in case we need to switch out. Or if we lose Dragapult early. So here we will see, actually we see Duraludon and Whimsicott. So here I'm actually kind of worried about a switch, like a trick eject button strategy. So I think I'm going to just close combat into the Duraludon instead of Dynamaxing, because I really don't want to lose my Dynamax turn 1. And we'll actually see the Tailwind get set up, so we probably could have Gigantamaxed, or Dynamaxed. And the Max Whirlwind will come out. And actually bring Dragapult down to a Sash. So here, unfortunately, we're only going to be +3 instead of... actually, we're only going to be +2 after close combat. But we do get the Justified boost. And we'll have to see how much damage this does to Duraludon. And we actually get a crit on ourselves. And we're actually able to one-shot the Duraludon at +3. And now we are minus defense and special defense. So we do have to worry about that. Especially with Tailwind already being up. So we see the Kingdra come out. So I think here, I just want to... I want to max Overgrowth into the Whimsicott slot, because I think we might see Politoed come out. And I just want to Shadow Ball. Because if Politoed switches in, that makes Hurricane 100% accurate. So hopefully the Dynamax from Virizion will be able to negate the damage, as well as like with the Berry. And then if Dragapult goes down, we can just switch into Togekiss and start using Follow Me. And we're actually going to see Whimsicott stay in. But we will see Dragapult get knocked out. So Kingdra does go for Hurricane, But fortunately, because it didn't switch in the Politoed and didn't bring up the rain, it's not 100% accurate. And we do get Grassy Terrain up, which will help us with healing. So I think here we just bring our Togekiss. And I want to say, Follow Me and Max Overgrowth is probably the best, especially with Grassy Terrain up being a stab move. So we're going to Follow Me with Togekiss and target into this Kingdra. We will see a Fake Tears. So you're just still trying to bring down. And Hurricane does land this time, but Togekiss is able to take it way better than Virizion would. And we'll see a Max Overgrowth come out into the Kingdra, taking it out. So I want to say we see Politoed in the back. But if Politoed was in the back, wouldn't you have brought it out already? And actually we see a Scizor. And here I just kind of want to hit it with a Max Knuckle and Follow Me again. So we'll Follow Me from the Togekiss. We'll probably see a Moonblast and a Bullet Punch. So we'll see the Energy Ball come out. And Togekiss will still survive it. And an Iron Head. So we'll go ahead and Max Knuckle the Scizor and knock it out. So at this point we can just bring in Kingdra and just number down Whimsicott. Whimsicott being more of a supportive, it does have Energy Ball, which will hit Kingdra pretty hard, but at this point Virizion should be able to just seal in the match. And Tailwind does peter out. So we go ahead and bring in Kingdra. Finish our Dynamax. And we'll go ahead and just bounce. And Muddy Water. So the battle will be canceled. I think they realized that with just a supportive Whimsicott left, there was really no chance to bring that back, even though it did have a move that would hit pretty hard in Grassy Terrain against Kingdra. But with that Virizion, I think we did really well with not Dynamaxing turn 1 and being able to get that beat up off. I think it wouldn't have changed either way, but having Dragapult on the field kind of made it made them second guess which Pokemon to target into. So that was really good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue on to the next match. Okay, we are playing Origin, a little higher rank. And this is interesting. We actually see the Dragapult, Galarian Weezing, Cinderace, Rillaboom, Magnezone, and Braviary. So this is kind of a tricky matchup. Because Galarian Weezing on the field could actually cause some trouble. So I think here is actually a good match to lead Excadrill Togekiss, because they still have good damage, good offensive output, even with the Galarian Weezing on the field. And I think in the back we'll keep the Rain mode, just so if we do see something like something like a Cinderace lead, we can switch out into the rain. So we actually do see the Weezing and Dragapult. And I actually want to just max Steel Spike and Dazzling Gleam, because I feel like the Weezing might proc weakness policy on this Dragapult, which makes it a really big threat. So Gigantamax, Dynamaxing the Excadrill will give it some extra bulk that it needs to survive a hit that might come from the Dragapult. And we're actually going to see the Weezing protect. And Thunder Wave, so it's a more supportive Dragapult. We get some good chip on the Weezing, even though it protected. And we'll probably see some Black Sludge recovery. And we are still able to get a Dazzling Gleam off, which will do decent damage to the Dragapult. And we actually see a Berry. I think there's nothing wrong with doing the same thing again, because we had good damage output and the Weezing was pretty threatened. So we might see a switch out here on the Weezing, but then that also brings the like the possibility of Togekiss critting the Dragapult. So we're gonna see the Weezing withdraw, and Mold Breaker is gonna come back into effect. And we actually see Magnezone, so we are going to be trapped here. And the Reflects, so that's a good... That was a pretty good setup. So we did land a critical hit. And I think here, the best thing we could do is let's go ahead and Dazzling Gleam and then Max Quake again. So we're actually going to see Rillaboom come in. So you're really predicting my moves, which is really good on you. So now we see the light screen set up. So this Dragapult is actually doing a lot of good for its team. And my opponent has done a really good job of minimizing what I can do at my Dynamax. And the Gleam is just going to be able to knock out the Rillaboom. Not the Rillaboom, the Dragapult. So I want to say here, the Rillaboom has to be the target. We did get some defensive boost. So I want to try to follow me and X Scissor into the Rillaboom slot. And we are going to see what I would have to assume is the Rillaboom. Gigantamax. Yep. So we probably see its G-Max Drum Solo go into the Excadrill if Togekiss doesn't get this Follow Me off, and of course we don't. We still hit it with the X Scissor, which doesn't do much after. And we'll actually see a Max Quake. So on the plus side, we will actually see the Excadrill outspeed the Rillaboom. And we'll see a Corrosive Gas. Why did it fail on the Rillaboom? So I think with you targeting the Excadrill, and we know that we outspeed it, I just want to try to get an Iron Head off into this Weezing and a Yawn into the Rillaboom slot. So we're going to see another Max Quake, which is probably going to be into the Excadrill, yep. And we'll see a Strange Steam come out from the Weezing. Which is doing a lot for my opponent. So we weren't able to get the Yawn off. And my question here is how do we get rid of the Weezing? And Drizzle isn't going to come up anyway. This is no good. So we do bring in the Politoed, but because of Galarian Weezing being on the field, we are not going to see the Drizzle activate. And we do get the Confusion on the Rillaboom. So if it could hit itself, that would be great. Awesome. So what we really need to do is we need to stall out this grassy terrain and these screens. So the Reflect wore off, so I think the next turn we should see the end of we should see the end of the light screen. But even then, this Rillaboom is really bulky. So we decided to protect the Kingdra to just stall out terrain, stall out Weezing. And let's see if we can get another Confusion. And we'll see a Glassy Glide go off into the Togekiss slot. And we'll see another Strange Steam. And Kingdra is actually back up to full health. And the light screens have worn off. So I think here I have to target down this Weezing. I'm just hoping that Muddy Water and Air Slash is enough. And I also have to hope that Togekiss doesn't get confused in the process. The accuracy drops will help as well. Come on, hit yourself. And we'll see a knockoff actually come, and Kingdra avoids. And Strange Steam will get a crit, and unfortunately we will see the Weezing stay on the field. So I honestly think I have to go for more Muddy Water misses. And I just have to get this Weezing off the field. So we will get another accuracy drop, and that was good damage on both of these Mons. We get a critical hit on Rillaboom. And Rillaboom is still confused, but it will get off a Glassy Glide. And Togekiss will actually survive, so if they doubled into the Togekiss, they did not. So here, I just want a Muddy Water again. And I have to try to get a Follow Me off. And we're actually going to see Rillaboom come back. And Magnezone's going to come back in. And Togekiss will get the Muddy Water off. But Weezing actually avoids. So I'm just getting the worst luck with this Weezing. So I'm down to just my Kingdra and my Politoed. Kingdra is going to go down to the next Life Orb chip. So I think here my best thing is just to try to protect it and use the Weezing, or Scald the Weezing to try to get it down. And the Weezing is actually going to protect. And we'll see recovery from Weezing. We'll go ahead and try to go into both of these Pokemon and lower the speed. And we miss Magnetzone with the Muddy Water. Kingdra will go down to Life Orb chip, and Magnetzone will probably take out the Politoed. Weezing avoids again. Okay, so we'll go ahead and go down to the Weezing Strange Steam and take a loss for today. That was a really long, drawn-out match. My opponent played their Weezing really well. They played to their defensive strengths really well and was just able to grind down my team. We definitely probably didn't get the advantage of the RNG side with so many misses on Weezing. But we did get the confusion off Hurricane on a Gigantamax Pokemon. So there was RNG on both sides, but I want to say that we lost out on that. But I think irregardless whether we got the hits or not, Weezing probably still would have been able to survive, and they played that match really well with their switches and setting up the screens early into the match, and they just whittled down my offensive pressure. But anyways, I think I'm going to end it here today. Let me know how I could have done that last match better in the comments below. And if you want to support me, don't forget to like and subscribe. Anyways, I'm Zach, and I'll see you guys in the next one.